Good morning, good night, good evening, everyone. Today we are looking at an unused feature in the international versions of Tales of Symphonia for the GameCube. So if we go to Lloyd's inventory, we can cheat in an item that was present in the Japanese version, but not in any of the other versions, namely the Rename Gem. If we remove from his inventory here, it will not be anywhere in our visible in our inventory. The collector's book, if we hadn't, wouldn't show it either. But we do have it, and we know that because we can actually open up the name input screen that's normally able to be used in the Japanese version of the Rename Gem. So now we're able to rename Lloyd to whatever we feel like, and it'll update it. Now it's Roido Irving. It says it here, it says it in the strategy menu, it says it basically everywhere except for the synopsis. The synopsis will continue to use the default names. I believe that's consistent with the Japanese version, but I'm not entirely sure about that. We'll play the Japanese version. You can see everywhere else it'll say Roido now. One thing that is interesting about the Rename Gem is that if we hit the default button, it will change the character's name to a default name. But not every character actually uses what you would expect. Some, like Shina here, will actually use the Japanese spelling of their name. Same goes for Rain. Genus. And also Colette. Colette is an interesting case because she actually has a 7-letter long name in English, while the name input screen only allows you to put in 6. If you change the letters, we can't actually go to the 7th letter. And if you delete it, it'll move the E onto screen, and then there's absolutely no way to get it back to the 7th letter. So if you change her name to anything else, including the default, it will be impossible to set her name back to the English default spelling. So now she's permanently Colette. For the next little portion of this video, I'm just going to show some cutscenes using the renamed names, the Rename Gem. In this case, I just changed the characters to have their Japanese spellings of the names.
Floor.
Yes, that's the altar.
Then that shining thing there must be the Crucius crystal.
That's right. They say I was born with that in my hand.
Look at that light!
What is that?
An angel, I would assume.
So, is that Colette's real father?
One interesting thing with the Rename Gem, which I am not sure if it's consistent with the Japanese version or not, but at least in the English versions, any instance where a character speaks a character's name aloud, like here, they will use the normal spelling. But in all other instances, it'll continue to use the renamed spelling. Oh, looks like it's gonna be a moment. Oh, cutscene to get there.
The Tower of Salvation and flying stairs to Disneyland.
We accept this task.
Yeah, we can see that it says Colette,
Very good.
but then when people refer to her in dialogue, it will be Colette. And it does that for every character in the game, which is interesting. I forgot to turn on my microphone. One other interesting thing about the Redeem Gem that I haven't seen mentioned anywhere else is that if you cheat in the unused character of Noishe, you're actually able to change his name. So if I just... Oh, if you hit default, Noishe's name will change to absolutely blank. He doesn't have a proper one set up. But if I change it to something else... we can see that it'll actually be used in a cutscene. So I think that's about it for the rename gem. It works pretty much exactly the same as it does in Japanese version, from what I can tell. And then there's the little interesting note about also being able to change Noishe's name. But that's about it.